Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Coming up on this show, we give you the latest information on the coronavirus and how this virus is affecting our community and how so many are coming together to help and inspire hope. And speaking of inspiring hope, the councilman who represents Ward 1, Brian Knudsen, joins me now. Councilman, welcome to the program. People are going to notice we're sitting rather far apart today. We're social distancing, and we're just doing our part to be safe. But we want to get some important information out there about what's going on, and you are on the front line. You're on the Health District Board. We're going to talk about that. A lot going on in the community to discuss. For those that don't know, we're going to let you know where Ward 1 is located. It's right in the heart of the city of Las Vegas, smack dab in the middle of it all. It's where our city began. Appropriately enough, it's the area there with the 1 on it. If you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and of course you are represented by Councilman Brian Knudsen. Councilman, these are interesting times, aren't they? Difficult times for everyone.
This is, I will say, this is sad. This is a sad time right now, and just like everyone watching, we're all going through this together. And so that's what I find solace in, is that every single person around the globe right now is going through the exact same thing, questioning what's going to happen next and how is our world going to recover. Yeah. So I find solace in that there's comfort and comfort in that everybody's going through it at the same time, and the world is still going on. We're just doing it behind closed doors and 6 feet apart from each other. And for those who have access to technology, they can email and they can Zoom or video chat or FaceTime. The world still goes on, and it will be there when we're ready to come out of our shelters. Yeah,
sooner or later this will end, and we're looking forward to that day. It's going to come to an end, and we're looking forward to that. Councilman, you have been really very, very busy through all of this. I mentioned you're on the Health District Board, the Southern Nevada Health District Board. Of course, the Health District is right on the front line, as we were saying, of dealing with this coronavirus situation here in Southern Nevada. You posted this on Facebook. You said, our special Southern Nevada Health District Board meeting just adjourned. We unanimously authorized the construction of a facility to house folks who test positive for COVID-19 but do not need hospitalization. Councilman, this is just one of the many, many things that the Health District Board, all of you have been taking care of. I should mention that as a councilman, all of our council members serve on other boards, and Councilman Knudsen and Councilwoman Diaz serve on the Health District Board. I should mention too, this is file video, everyone. They're social distancing in there. They're wearing gowns, masks, protecting themselves, but this is obviously footage that we had from previously. That's
right, and it's an honor and a privilege to serve on the Health District Board. Those folks in the Health District are on the front lines every day trying to protect our community. They have a very specific role in this disaster. They work closely with the governor's office and the governor's task force on identifying what are the appropriate precautions we can all take. One of the precautions we can take is making sure that we don't overwhelm our healthcare system. And so that's why you'll see a facility going up in the Health District parking lot. That's why you'll see facilities going up at the Cashman complex to make sure that we have enough room for people as they become infected to be treated and to stay isolated away from the rest of the community until they're able to recover and resume normal life. And so it may be scary for everybody watching to see what's going on, but I think there's comfort in knowing that our government officials here in Southern Nevada and Nevada are preparing, and they're going to make sure that we are able to come out of this healthy and stronger than ever before. And so these precautions that we're taking, while they may seem scary, they're precautions to make sure that we're prepared for the very worst of this coronavirus disaster, which will probably hit us in the next couple of weeks. And so know that the government is taking care of the people.
Yeah, and you've been certainly in the thick of all that. Councilman, as a Southern Nevada Health District Board member, what are a couple of key messages or a key message that you'd really like to get across to people that are watching right now?
Stay inside and keep watching. Yeah. Keep watching Channel 2 because now is not the time to leave your house. If you need essential items, find a way to get them delivered to you, or make very quick trips with the appropriate gloves and mask to the grocery store. Stay as far away from people as you possibly can. because right now is the peak. We're coming on the peak of this coronavirus. We want to make sure that we're all appropriately distanced, and that's a very scary message for people. This will pass, and we can see that in other parts of the world. This will pass. So the most important message I can say is that social distancing is working in Nevada. We're not going to reach the peak they expect us to because we've been practicing such diligent social distancing within our state. And so that's the number one message, is keep distance from other people.
Yeah, excellent, Councilman. You haven't just been giving advice, you've also been putting things into practice. I love this. You worked personally, you and your staff, to collect gloves that were needed and donated these to UMC. Now, we're not talking just a few gloves, we're talking thousands of them, it looks like here. And you have to tell me the story behind this. There you are with your assistant in your office, Dorian Stonebarger. How did you guys pull this off?
So I can't take any credit, David. It was Dorian Stonebarger, who is the chief policy analyst for my office. She had a contact at Shitaki's. She was able to secure those gloves, and then her husband, Derek Stonebarger, who owns Rebar right there on Main Street in downtown Las Vegas.
Mainstay in the Arts District.
He pulled up his trailer, and we all had a role to play. So I was fortunate enough to be associated with Dorian Stonebarger and Derek Stonebarger, and the three of us pulled all those gloves on, along with Antonia Prasadio, who's in my office. We picked up those gloves and we started delivering them to places that needed them. First priority went to the hospitals, so Valley and UMC Hospital got the 50,000 gloves each, and then we started delivering them to the individuals or organizations that work with the homeless population.
Wow, that's impressive. You know, the thing that's unprecedented about this situation is that when we have a disaster somewhere in the country, everyone else sends aid to that spot. Right. After the October 1 shooting here in Las Vegas, aid came from all across the country for whatever we needed. After Hurricane Katrina, we sent aid to New Orleans. Now everybody is in need of supplies, and so donations of gloves, but even things like disinfectant, the hospitals have been really running short of. And for you and Dorian and Antonia to come through with 50,000 some odd gloves, that's incredible.
We all have a role to play, David, and so it really was Derek and Dorian that made this happen, and I'm lucky enough to be able to pick up boxes and deliver boxes, but every single person in our community has a role to play in this disaster, and figure out what your role is and be really good at it, because now's the time to be your best self.
Wow. Well, Councilman, you wear many hats, and one of those is you also are on the selection committee for the UNLV School of Medicine. And the med students out there have been very busy. They have been testing people who are symptomatic for the coronavirus in the parking lot out at the university. This has been an incredible program. Literally, you can drive up, as you're going to see. You've probably heard about this. They'll swab you right there in the vehicle, and then you'll get the results back. And of course, not everybody needs to go. If you're symptomatic and your health provider says you should get tested, you should. But we even have a gentleman there pulling up in a semi. So it's been an incredible undertaking.
You know, David, I served on the admissions committee for 1 year. It was one of the best experiences of my professional life, because I was able to look at the resumes and aptitude of some really amazing, I call them kids, but they're not kids. They're young people who are trying to do right by their community. And this is an example of one of the things that as a community we should be most proud of. The School of Medicine, these students are finding a way to give back to the community. Yeah. We have an incoming new dean to the School of Medicine, Dr. Mark Kahn. So I spoke with him, and he started last week. This is an unusual time to start a new job, but he did.
How about that?
And already they're thinking about how they can use plasma from people who have recovered from the COVID disease to help cure people who are infected with the COVID disease.
Because the antibodies will be in the plasma,
That's right. Yeah. So the School of Medicine, I believe, is the future of Ward 1, in particular, the city of Las Vegas, the community, and the state. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of is that the School of Medicine is still coming into the medical district, is still coming into Ward 1, and those students and the faculty associated with it will make this community better and stronger. And I would even predict that the School of Medicine is going to be on the front edge, the leading edge of creating vaccines and antibodies that'll help cure the world.
That's awesome.
I believe in the School of Medicine, and I believe in what Nevada can produce.
Yeah, it's an incredible class. Councilman, you were on the selection committee that the first class had their tuition paid for. That was the deal. If you came there, hey, no student debt, no tuition to have to pay, and you probably figured out that medical school is very expensive. So as a result, you guys had the cream of the crop to come and apply for admission there.
Cream of the crop, and you know it's not just the medical school in the medical district. It's also the dental school. All of the nursing students from the UNLV nursing school serve at UMC or Valley Hospital in the medical district, and our allied health schools within UNLV. So our occupational health and our public health officials all are working in the medical district. So it's not just a place where you go get feeling better, which it is, but it's also an academic medical district where we will be on the leading edge of medicines and cures and research that'll help bring about a healthier country.
Yeah, it's something to be proud of, and it really to be a great city, you have to have academic medicine, and we're there now. So that's finally something we can add to our checklist. Councilman, a lot of people are struggling right now. I was telling you before we went on the air that we see every day people sending emails into the city, into the website, concerned about how they're going to make ends meet. And it's heartbreaking to see this. There are resources out there. We're going to talk to you about how you can connect with some of those. But one of the basic needs is people have got to eat, and we're trying to make sure that food gets to people. And this has been a massive undertaking, hasn't it?
This has, and I think there's a couple of things that I think about. Is one, if you're struggling or suffering, you need to reach out to your friends and family. You need to reach out to your community for resources and support. No one in our country should ever go hungry. It's just inappropriate. And as a community, I know everyone here at the city is dedicated and committed to making sure that everybody in our community has the resources they need to stay healthy and successful. We do have an amazing organization within our community, 3 Square Food Bank. Doreen Swimbarger used to work there. I stole her from them. And they're doing an amazing job at picking up the pieces and bringing food to people to where they are. The school district has been amazing at providing feeding sites. When school's out, that's a major source of nutrition for a lot of our kids. And so they've picked up the pieces and started doing meal distribution sites at a lot of the schools around our valley.
You've got a couple in your ward, Elaine Wynn Elementary.
Elaine Wynn's just on the other side of the ward in the county, but Palace Station is one. And I mentioned to you that driving around, it's a sombering sight right now. There's miles and miles of cars lining up to get packages of food, but there is food. And so if you do venture out to the grocery store, try to make it minimal. There's food on the shelves. There's food there. There's distribution of food. And we will come back from this. And so it's important to reach out to your friends and neighbors if you need help. Reach out to community supports if you need help, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because we are all in this together. Yeah,
exactly. We sure are. A lot of people, a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses are worried, they've had to close, and they're worried, how are we going to survive if we don't have any customers? So the city council has really worked hard to try to help these businesses. We've done some things. We've really kind of set the pace here in Southern Nevada. We're allowing restaurants to have curbside pickup. You can pick up food at the curb, and we're now also allowing restaurants to, if you're going to get food, you can also get alcohol. If you want to, it's got to be in the container, but you want to order a bottle of wine with your spaghetti or whatever you're ordering, you have the opportunity to do that as well. And so that's been really key. These restaurants are allowing folks to come pick up food, and then also, if you'd like some libation with that, we'll allow that as well. We've just added brew pubs too. Those have a minimal amount of food. You've still got to get some food. It's got to be a hot dog or something with your alcohol that you order, but we're allowing that too, and it's helping keep these businesses afloat.
Yeah, David, and this is, if there is something that I'm proud of in this exact time right now, I sat on a conference call with the Vegas Chamber, where many of the small businesses in town, we had about 400 on the line, called in, and that was one of the first questions is, we're desperate to try to do something to stay open, to bring up some revenue in, so that when we come out of this, we still have a business to come back to. And so I was grateful that the city staff and our city council kind of pushed this forward very, very quickly. I'm personally excited by it because I like going out to eat, I'm not going to lie. And while we're isolating at home, it's nice to know that I can contribute to our local economy in every way possible. And so I'm hopeful that this is at least some income coming in. We've had 80 businesses that have applied and that have started providing that service in our community. And so if you have the means, now is the time to give back to your local businesses, because we want them there on the back end of this.
Yeah, we sure do. And my family, we've done that, and the businesses are so appreciative. They thank you over and over. Thank you so much for your business. Thank you so much for your business. You know, we really need it right now. So, and I don't know, it makes the whole process of being at home and kind of isolated a little more bearable too. It's not a frozen meal. It's going to be something a little better.
I can only have so many frozen pizzas.
Exactly.
And so having a pizza dinner with a bottle of wine is not terrible right now.
Right.
And like I said, if you have the means and you're watching this, now's the time to support your local businesses.
Yeah,
there's many local businesses that are participating in some form or fashion. Your favorite waitress, your favorite bartender, don't forget them, because we want them there on the back end of this.
Yeah. We got to keep these businesses going, and that's one of the reasons that you posted this on Facebook. You said, attention Las Vegas small business owners, low-interest federal loans are now available for small businesses suffering economic harm as a result of COVID-19, and there are a lot of them out there, folks. We want to make sure that you are aware of these resources. The Small Business Administration, that's the one at the bottom, has got information, help for you that is going to be something that you can get relatively quickly. And then the city, we're also stepping up. We've got a grant of $2,000 if you need to board up your business, and we're going to show you a little bit of that here. A lot of businesses can't operate right now. They can't really do curbside, so they're having to shutter. Unfortunately, we've had some businesses in the Arts District that were broken into, which is really sad to hear. So the businesses are having to close up, board up their places, and so the city is helping. That grant money will help you get those things taken care of if you need it. So.
That's right, and that's within the redevelopment area, so it's mostly the downtown core and wards 1, 3, and 5. One of the things that you can do with your family is you can still go outside. You just have to keep distance from people and avoid large gatherings. But walking down in downtown this weekend, my husband and I did a 9-mile walk. We walked all through downtown just to kind of see what's going on. There's some beautiful artwork. And so there's some people that really took advantage of boarding up the windows and turning something that could be ugly into something really, really cool and interesting to see. And so if you're looking for something to do, walking around downtown, stay away from people, but walk around downtown and enjoy the artwork and see how amazing this community really is. Because there's amazing artists, and some of our local businesses, especially on Main Street in the Arts District, they really took advantage of it. And it's a beautiful sight. It's fun to take pictures and see what Vegas is right now, and then hopefully in a few months from now we can look back and say, let's forget about it. Let's take pictures of it. Let's forget about it and move forward.
Let's move on. Exactly. That's why you posted this on Facebook, Councilman. You said, in these unprecedented times, local artists and business owners are showing new ways to display strength in our community. And this is just what you're talking about, this gorgeous artwork you're going to see. I want to say Steve Horlock on our staff, he's our drone pilot here for KCLV and at the city, and he shot this footage, did a beautiful job. But you're going to see, look at some of this stuff. It's just, these are boarded up shops, everyone, and they look like works of art, which is what they are. But this is just to kind of put a brave face on a situation that's not so great right now. So.
And I learned something new today. Steve Horlock, who lives about 2 blocks from me in Ward 1 in the McNeil neighborhood, is here at Channel 2. And I did not know that he was a FAA pilot for drones. I did not know that, so that's very interesting to me. I knew he's an artist. He's an amazing artist that I see all the time downtown.
And he's also directing the show, so
he's very fancy.
He's pushing
way fancier than me. He should be on this show.
Thank you so much for putting us on the show. But yeah, he's one of the drone pilots we have. We have a few of them here at the City of Las Vegas. Steve is one of them, and we were talking about this. It's a big process to get licensed through the FAA to be able to fly a drone. You have to also notify them when you're going to fly and where you're going to be flying, how high you're going to be flying. So there's a lot to it. And of course, he also turns it into beautiful pictures as well.
We have very talented people at the City of Las Vegas. Steve Horlock is one of the most talented people I've ever met. So grateful that he's directing the show and that he lives 2 blocks from me.
Exactly, and that's right. Yeah, he's one of your folks in Ward 1, and like I say, thanks for directing the show. Steve, you had a birthday this past week, too.
On
so
Tuesday,
we'll mention
yes.
that as well. So, Councilman, you posted this on Facebook, too. You said, in case you missed it, now more than ever, it's going to take a concerted effort on behalf of every elected official and every leader within our community to make sure that health care can be better going forward. Of course, that's one of your passions. You're on the Health District Board. You're also, the medical district is in your ward, and this is something obviously that you take very seriously. And it was one of the things that you really talked about as you campaigned. This was something you wanted to deliver on when you came into office. So.
And you know what, David, right before the pandemic really hit Las Vegas, we had a joint city-county meeting, the first one in the history of the city and county. And the intention there was to really garner attention around the joint efforts between the city, county, and university on making this an academic medical district. So I'm very excited about the prospect, the silver lining, if you will, from this whole pandemic about focusing in on healthcare and the growth and expansion of the quality and quantity of healthcare within the medical district. It's going to take the county and the city and the university and now the state to do that.
You're right. It's going to take a team effort, everybody coming together. But you are one of those people that always builds bridges. And so if anybody's going to get it done by offering a hand of friendship to the others, it's you. And we're already moving down that path. So
we will move down that path, and now there's a need to move a little bit faster, so I will.
And normally, a councilman has had some of his counterparts from other jurisdictions on the show, County Commission, for example. We've had Tick Segerbloom on the show, Justin Jones. And we're not doing that this time because of social distancing, but in the future, we'll have them back. So we'll talk about joint issues that need to be worked on.
My goal for next time is Commissioner Weekly and Councilman Creer, because they both also represent the medical district. And so that was the intention of this one, but the social distancing is what it is. And so the next Access City Council, I hope to have them both on.
Exactly. You got a deal. I promise you, when we can do it, we'll do it. So. And then, Councilman, we want to let everybody out there know, too, you posted this on Facebook. The City of Las Vegas has opened a call center for those with questions about city services during the coronavirus pandemic. And we also have our city blog on our website. And let me tell you, the phone number at our call center is 702-229-CARE, C-A-R-E, or 2273. We've had about 600 calls a day averaging on that call line, and about 100 live chats on the internet over the city's website through the call center. We also take payments there if you need to pay a sewer bill or something like that. They practice social distancing there behind the window. So the call center is very, very busy. Great resource if you have questions. We also have our city blog. We've had 212,000 clicks on the blog, lasvegasnevada.gov/coronavirus. Comprehensive list of all the things that are going on related to coronavirus, from assistance that's out there, if you have questions about the disease itself, if you have trouble making a rent payment, if you're trying to get unemployment filed, etc. All those resources are on there. And while we don't have control over every one of those things, we can at least point you in the right direction of where to try to get some help.
And I would just add in, for anybody watching, it's okay to have questions. Everybody has questions right now, and I guarantee you there's no one in the world that has all the answers. So for everyone sitting at home, if you have ideas or thoughts about how we can be better, how the government can be better, how the world can be better, now is the time to be creative. And that's what I anticipate will happen out of this. Is we have some very creative, innovative people living in Las Vegas, and I can imagine that some of the best and brightest ideas are still sitting out there. So people should feel comfortable reaching out and letting us know what they are.
Yeah. And if you don't know Brian very well, I'll tell you, if you reach out to him with a suggestion, he will act on it. He won't just stick it in a drawer somewhere and forget about it. He and his team will jump on it. And people, I think, know that you were a former city staff member before being elected to the city council. So you know the organization, you know who does what in the organization, what departments are responsible for this and that. So huge advantage when you came into office, because you already knew the lay of the land, you already knew how things worked here. So you were able to just take off running and really get things done quickly because you were familiar with it.
And it's an opportunity that I have, and I take advantage of it. I also have worked with the county and the state for many years outside of the city, and so the relationships and the experiences matter, and they matter most in this current period of time. So if anybody wants to call me, I always give out my number at 702-493-1547. call me, and I'm almost, I can almost guarantee I know who else to call if I don't know the answer.
Yeah, you do, and you always be very helpful. So, Councilman, along those same lines, I want to tell everybody out there, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Knudsen, as he mentioned, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. He does a lot on social media, and you can also pick up the phone. His office phone number is 702-229-6405, or you can send him an email. His address is bknudsen@lasvegasnevada.gov, and I promise you, he or his staff, they will get back to you. They always do. So stay safe, Councilman. It's great to have you. Great to see you in person. And you know, I know it's kind of weird that we're sitting this far apart, but we're being safe, and we're setting hopefully an example for everybody else out there too. So do the same thing. Stay home if you can. So
stay home for Nevada, and we will get through this. The world will be better on the other side.
Yeah, surely will. And be safe. Look forward to seeing you again on this show in another 6 weeks. And we want to tell you out there, please don't miss our next show beginning on April 16th with Ward 3 City Councilwoman Olivia Diaz. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. We want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. We'll see you next time around. Everyone, please stay safe, stay home if you can, and be safe.